It was supposed to be just another busy morning at Terminal 4 JFK International Airport. Passengers rushing, coffee cups steaming, and security dogs making their usual rounds. But then, something strange happened. A K9 dog named Ranger, a seasoned German shepherd with over 400 airport patrols under his belt, suddenly stopped near gate C-17. He froze. His ears stood tall. His body tensed. And then he refused to move. No command could budge him. What Ranger had sensed beneath the cold concrete floor would soon expose a dark secret that had been hidden for over a year. And what they found down there would leave the entire airport in shock. Officer Linda Ramirez had been working with Ranger for almost 4 years. She trusted him more than anyone. Ranger wasn't just a K9. He was her partner, her companion, her friend. Together, they'd sniffed out everything from illegal substances to smuggled jewelry. That morning started like any other. "Let's make it a quick one, buddy," she whispered, clipping on his leash. As they moved past crowds and luggage, Ranger seemed calm, focused, until they each gate C-17. That's when everything changed. Ranger suddenly pulled to the side, right near a waiting area bench. He sniffed the ground, circled it once, then planted his paws firmly on the floor and sat, unmoving, alert, growling. Linda tried the usual commands. Ranger, heel. "Come on, boy." Nothing. He kept staring at the tile beneath him. Passengers nearby started to notice. A child clutched her mother's hand. An airport staffer radioed in security. That's when Linda's gut told her this wasn't nothing. Within minutes, the airport emergency response unit was dispatched. TSA officers cleared the area. Police cordoned off the gate. Bomb detection robots were summoned. Was it explosives? Weapons? No one knew yet. But Ranger didn't stop. He barked once, then again, and then he started pawing furiously at the tile. The floor beneath him sounded hollow. Linda knelt beside him and knocked. A faint echo. "What the hell?" she muttered. Engineers were called in. The terminal's blueprints were pulled up. But here's the twist. According to the airport's construction records, there was nothing supposed to be underneath that floor. No storage, no crawl space, no access tunnel. Just solid concrete. So why was there an empty sound? And why was a trained K9 losing his mind over it? One of the engineers stepped forward, trembling. "We've got to cut open." They brought in a ground-penetrating radar unit. What it revealed made everyone's blood run cold. A space, roughly 8 feet by 5 feet, right beneath where Ranger had stopped. And movement, barely detectable, but present. Something or someone was down there. The airport was evacuated. With every thud of the sledgehammer, tension grew, then cracked. The concrete gave way. Beneath it was a hatch, a rusted, bolted-down hatch with no external access. As officers unsealed it, a putrid smell burst forth. Mold, dampness, and something else. They lowered a flashlight, and what they saw silenced the room. Curled up in the corner of the narrow space, clutching a dirty stuffed animal, was a little girl, eyes wide, silent, barely breathing. A 3-year-old child, alive. The girl was rushed to medical services. She didn't speak. She didn't cry. She simply stared, as if too afraid to believe she was finally free. No ID, no shoes, just a wristband with faded letters. Eli. The story hit national news in hours. Where had she come from? Who had put her there? Why under an airport terminal? Detectives began digging, and what they uncovered was darker than anyone imagined. The child, later identified as Eliana Torres, had been reported missing over 13 months ago from New Jersey. Her parents were found dead in what authorities initially ruled a home robbery gone wrong. But now, things weren't adding up. Further investigations revealed that the hatch beneath gate C-17 wasn't accidental. It was part of an old smuggling route used decades ago during early airport construction, long forgotten and sealed off in records. Or so they thought. Security footage from weeks prior showed a man in a maintenance uniform tampering with the floor late at night, accessing the area, then disappearing. Facial recognition, no match, fake credentials, no fingerprints. But one thing was clear, this wasn't a random crime. Eliana had been kept there, fed sparingly, hidden deliberately. A blanket, canned food, a light source. Someone had planned this. Ranger had uncovered more than a missing girl. He had exposed an underground child trafficking route operating through the airport itself. The FBI took over. Arrests followed. More children were found in safe houses nearby. The man in the footage was still at large. But Eliana, she was finally safe. Because one dog refused to move. Ranger was honored in a ceremony attended by officers, survivors, and the mayor herself. They called him the dog who stood still. But Linda knew better. He didn't just stand still, she told reporters. He stood his ground. For someone who couldn't. Eliana later spoke her first word since rescue. She whispered it while hugging Ranger. Safe. Ranger licked her face. The image went viral. A child, once hidden beneath cold concrete, now smiling in the sunlight beside the dog who saved her. Sometimes heroes wear badges. Sometimes they wear boots. But sometimes they walk on four legs, with eyes that see more than we ever could. Ranger didn't follow orders that day. He followed his heart. And because of that, a life was saved, a criminal ring exposed, and a silent terminal became the setting of a miracle. So next time you see a service dog, remember, they're not just sniffing bags. They're protecting lives. Even the ones hidden where no one's looking. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and press the bell icon so that you can receive notifications of every new video.